I think fans are dreaming about Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall. That's the fight I think they're dreaming about.
Yes.
I think that if Stipe wins the fight or Jon Jones wins the fight, the way that both of those guys are wired, I think they fight Aspinall.
It was only a matter of time before the pressure finally made Dana White speak up. Jon Jones, once considered the undisputed greatest of all time, is now at the center of a firestorm that's setting the UFC heavyweight division ablaze. The man who once bulldozed through the light heavyweight ranks now appears to be dodging the fight everyone wants to see: Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. What started as passive tweets and vague comments has exploded into a narrative Dana White could no longer ignore. With Jones suggesting he's willing to vacate the belt or that he doesn't care if he gets stripped, White made it clear this isn't the UFC's vision of a champion. Dana might have once shielded Jon from criticism, but not anymore. He's full of shit, and the organization is losing patience with a champion who keeps teasing exits and avoiding responsibilities. Dana is now focused on moving the division forward, and Jones is no longer getting a free pass. The game has changed. It's becoming increasingly difficult to view Jon Jones's recent actions as anything other than an attempt to dodge Tom Aspinall. Once the predator, Jones is starting to look more like prey, and his silence speaks volumes. After months of cryptic messages, shifting narratives, and Twitter antics, fans and fighters alike are calling it what it is: ducking.
Tom's head is in the right place. He should want to fight the top guys in the world. I believe that he has time to fight the top guys in the world. As far as fighting me right now, you don't make it this far in a UFC career.
Aspinall is the interim heavyweight champion, widely considered the division's future, and Jones refuses to acknowledge him as a legitimate threat. Instead, Jones floats the idea of fighting fantasy matchups like Francis Ngannou, someone no longer even in the UFC. When Jones was asked why he wouldn't fight Aspinall, he offered a slippery answer, calling Aspinall just another rising contender not worth risking his legacy over. But that logic doesn't fly when you're the reigning champ. The best fight, the best. And right now, it looks like Jones is doing everything possible to avoid that reality. The backlash hasn't just come from the media. Fans have had enough. A petition to strip Jones of the title gained massive traction online and flooded Dana White's inbox. While the number of signatures might not reflect UFC's global fan base, the sentiment is loud and clear. Fans want resolution. They want a real champion. Even fellow fighters like Paddy Pimblett and Giga Chikadze have gone on record criticizing Jones for clogging up the division. They see it for what it is: a power play that only benefits Jones and stalls everyone else. And while Jones shrugs off the backlash, mocking those calling him a duck, the optics are brutal. If you're healthy, active on social media, and capable of discussing dream fights, why not defend your title? The fans are the heartbeat of the sport, and they've turned against the man they once worshipped.
Jon Jones is probably watching this, so send him a message.
Hello, Jon. I have nothing against you personally, but I just think I'm better than you. I just know that I can beat you in a fight, so I'm coming for it.
Jones's mixed messages have become a case study in contradiction. One day, he claims he's just being a company man, playing his role by staying silent and holding the belt. The next, he hints at retirement or wanting to fight Ngannou. Then, out of nowhere, he mocks fans for calling him a coward and acts as if he's above it all. This inconsistency has created a fog around the heavyweight title picture. It's no longer clear when or if Jones will fight again. What is clear is that his words have no anchor. He plays both sides, claiming loyalty to the UFC while throwing shade at rising stars like Aspinall, saying he wants a legacy fight while refusing the one fight that would solidify his greatness. It's a circus act with no center ring. The lack of transparency isn't just frustrating, it's damaging. For an organization that thrives on building storylines and promoting fights, Jones has become a logistical and narrative nightmare.
So I'm not ducking Tom Aspinall. If I failed to fight Stipe, I would be ducking Stipe because we contractually have been signed up to fight over a year ago. This is Stipe's position.
Meanwhile, Tom Aspinall has handled the entire situation with class and professionalism, which only sharpens the contrast. He hasn't ducked interviews or made excuses. He's shown up to every press obligation, trained relentlessly, and stayed ready to fight. He's also been transparent. He wants the belt, and he wants to earn it the right way. The frustration in his voice is clear. He's not chasing Jon for fame. He's chasing the title because he believes he's the best, and he's willing to prove it. Aspinall has cleared out the rest of the division and defended his interim title when others wouldn't even take the fight. That's the kind of behavior fans and fighters respect. And yet, he's the one sitting on the sidelines because the real champion won't show up. His patience is wearing thin, and rightfully so. In any other era, this kind of title freeze would be unthinkable. This isn't just about Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. This is about the fundamental duty of a champion. Fighters like Alexander Usyk have set the gold standard for what it means to hold a belt, take on all comers, win decisively, and remove all doubt. That's what fans respect. That's what defines a legacy. Usyk beat top contenders twice just to eliminate any possible asterisks. Jones, on the other hand, has fought once at heavyweight against Cyril Gane.
Is Jon Jones scared to fight you?
Yes. Jon is conning the public. The fact that he didn't want to fight Ngannou for 3 years and now he's not wanting to fight me for over a year.
A fighter who didn't look prepared. That's it. No title defenses, no return date, no clarity. You can't compare that to champions in other divisions, let alone other sports. If the belt is going to mean something, then it has to be defended. Otherwise, it's just a prop. Jones is turning a championship legacy into an elaborate game of avoidance, and it's wearing thin. At some point, the UFC has to take action. The interim title exists for one reason: to bridge the gap when a champion is inactive. Jon Jones tore his pec muscle and couldn't defend, which is why Aspinall fought and won the interim belt. By definition, the next step is for the interim and undisputed champions to unify. But instead, the UFC has allowed Jones to go off script with rumors swirling of a potential Stipe Miocic fight that makes no organizational sense. Miocic hasn't fought in 4 years. That fight doesn't move the division forward, it stalls it. And while Dana White once defended letting stars like GSP walk away, he's now watching one of the UFC's most prized divisions sink under the weight of a stalled title picture. The longer this drags on, the more it looks like a credibility issue, not just a scheduling one.
He comes back, he's either back today or came back yesterday or whenever he's in Thailand. So he's home, we'll be home tonight, Tuesday. We'll figure this out.
But if he doesn't fight Tom Aspinall and he does walk away, do you think he's...
Jon Jones seems to think he can laugh this off. He's posted videos mocking the term ducking, dismissing criticism as high school drama, but nobody's laughing. When you're the champion and you refuse to fight the top contenders, it doesn't matter if you weren't formally scheduled to fight them. It's about what the sport expects from its title holders. You don't need to be scheduled to duck someone. Avoidance comes in many forms: stalling negotiations, floating retirements, changing the subject. All of it adds up to the same thing: unwillingness to risk the belt. When Jones says Aspinall was never on his radar, it reveals everything. The best fighters always have the top contenders on their radar. That's how the sport works. And when Jones finally does acknowledge Aspinall, he frames him as a dangerous gamble not worth the risk. That's not a legacy mindset. That's a protective one.
Tom Aspinall's the guy. Listen, if the guy wants to retire and doesn't want to fight, nothing you do. It's none of my business. I'll do what I can to make the fight if we can. If he's talking that crazy, I didn't realize that.
Tom Aspinall deserves better. He's not begging for attention or demanding special treatment. He just wants what every fighter wants: a fair shot. And he's earned it the hard way. His performances speak for themselves, and his attitude has been impeccable. In interviews, he's been clear. He'll fight anyone, anytime, but the belt is the goal. He's not clinging to the idea of beating Jon Jones specifically. He just wants to be undisputed. And he's growing tired of defending an interim belt like it's a participation trophy. Defending an interim title once is rare. Doing it twice? That's absurd. Fighters train to be the best in the world, not placeholders. And as Aspinall said himself, he just wants to fight. That's what makes this situation even more heartbreaking. He's a fighter's fighter, and yet he's being forced to wait while Jones lives his best life halfway around the world. The emotional toll of this situation can't be overstated. Aspinall has trained for nearly a year with no clear fight date, no title shot, and no communication from the man he's supposed to face. It's a mental grind few understand. He's been stuck in limbo, unable to plan or prepare fully, left wondering what the UFC's next move will be. For a man who got into the sport for the love of fighting, that kind of uncertainty is soul-crushing. And the fact that he stayed composed through it all speaks volumes about his character. But the window for fighters is small.
Jon, in my opinion, if you look at his body of work over the last 15 years, he's like as close as you can get to perfection as possible. He's like 37, 38 years old, but not only that, he's got a million miles on the clock. So he's got a lot of damage on the body. He's took a lot of shots to the head. And that's not me saying anything negative about it.
Time is not on their side. Every month that passes without a title shot is a month lost from a career that doesn't last forever. Aspinall is aware of that. He wants to fight now, not next year. Not when it's convenient for Jones. Now, what makes this worse is the UFC's lack of clarity. Behind closed doors, they've reportedly set deadlines and floated potential consequences for Jones if he continues stalling. But to the public, nothing has been confirmed. This creates a vacuum that allows Jones to control the narrative, while everyone else, fighters, fans, and even Dana White, gets left guessing.
If I'm being completely honest, I feel like Tom's been such an asshole that I don't want to do business with him. You know, it's just like his fans have been so annoying. And obviously you don't get this far in a career being affected by fans or whatnot, but he's just an asshole. You know, with
Ariel Helwani has reported that there is, in fact, a deadline looming, but no one knows what will happen if Jones refuses to comply. Will he be stripped? Will the division finally move on? Or will we be stuck in this purgatory until someone else gets injured or fed up? The UFC's strength has always been in making the best fight the best. If they abandon that principle now, they risk undermining the very foundation the sport is built on. Ultimately, this isn't just about Jon Jones, Tom Aspinall, or even the UFC. It's about what it means to be a champion. It's about fairness, respect, and the integrity of the sport. Jon Jones has had a historic career, and nobody is denying his greatness. But greatness isn't just about what you did in the past. It's about what you do when the spotlight is on you. Right now, that spotlight is revealing a man who doesn't want to defend his title, who changes his story weekly, and who doesn't seem to care about what the belt means anymore. If that's the case, then it's time to let it go. Let the next man step up. Let the division breathe. Let the fighters fight, because this sport doesn't wait for anyone, not even Jon Jones.